What's going on with y'all, man? It's Polo Sports Talking here, ENT here again with another one. Make sure you hit the like, hit the sub, also hit the comments as well. Also, be sure that you're hitting the notifications too, so that you're able to get each and every one of my live streams and videos and everything. Now, I do want to talk about actually four players in particular, but Draymond Green had came out and basically stated that he respects the fact that um, Devin Booker, Chris Middleton, and Drew Holiday are coming back to play for the Olympics, and uh, I think that, he was just showing his gratitude in the fact that these players are coming back, just coming off of a finals, uh, and you do have to respect something like that. Great, Draymond Green is right. I gotta give Draymond Green, his credit on there. But this is what he said. He said, "quote I have a lot of respect for those guys, not only for committing to do this, but actually keeping their word." End quote. He said. He continued, "quote You're talking about three true professionals, three extremely. Uh, I'm sorry about that. Said three extremely competitive guys that wouldn't be on their way here if this didn't mean something." End quote. And he's exactly right. You know, I didn't. Me personally, I didn't want like Kevin Durant and James Harden to play. I'm glad that James Harden had made the decision not to go out there. And I didn't want Kevin Durant to go out there because I was just like, man, for one, you're a little bit older. For two, you're coming off the surgery. Yes, I understand that he only played, just a little bit of basketball, but we're talking about a grueling, a grueling Eastern Conference Finals that you had to go through, in which you pretty much uh, overexerted yourself
Right.
throughout the whole, well, the majority of the series, because you had the injury to Kyrie Irving, and then you also had a hobbled James Harden, so you had to pick up the load. Man, my thing is this: just sit down, get some rest. That Achilles is not anything to play with. It's really not. And if you have trouble with it again, because he had leg issues earlier in the season, and that's what my main concern was about. It's not about him getting it done or him performing or anything like that. Kevin Durant can perform, especially when he's 100%. But we have to be realistic. We don't want to run into a situation such as the situation that we're running into now with Kawhi Leonard and his knees. So you have to look at that type of stuff. But shout out to Draymond Green for showing respect to those guys. I think it's a mature thing to do. They're teammates now. Uh, you know, he also said this. He said that um, quote we could have very easily got to the last game, and Devin Booker saying, "Man, we lost. I'm pissed off. I'm out." Or Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday saying, "We won. We just won the championship. I want to celebrate and stay home with my family. I'm out." End quote. That was coming from what Green. He also continued. He said, "quote It's on us to make sure that we do our parts to make sure that they're rewarded uh, with what they ultimately came here for, which is to help us compete and win a gold medal." And he's exactly right. Draymond Green is exactly right. He those guys could have just said, hey, we won a championship, or you know, Devin Booker could have just been like, look, I need to get some rest. I'm gonna rest up and stuff. But it's a tremendous sacrifice that they are making. Neither th- out of the three players, I don't think they didn't have any injury problems. Devin Booker had the broken nose, but that was about it. Uh, I'm tipping my cap to those guys because they're going out there and they're playing. Look, a lot of people think that I don't like Middleton, and just because I like Giannis and everything like that. Nah, I like Middleton. I like Middleton. Matter of fact, I like him. For the fact that he plays a solid defense. Everybody thinks that I just look at him for his offense, but he was a roller coaster ride when it came to offense. Not as much as Drew Holiday, but he wasn't as consistent. But you can't fault his level of defense that he plays. You know, now with Holiday, um, he was really inconsistent in terms of his offense. But there you have it again, his defense. And really, honestly, they don't need to go out there and do a whole bunch of scoring. As long as y'all have a good, you know, solid defenders that can go out there and compete tomorrow against France, we could beat anybody. And then you got a scorer in Devin Booker who can get you buckets both from the perimeter and from mid range. It's just all about just his mental. But I think Devin Booker, this was a learning experience for him, and he's able to uh, maturate on a level in which he's going to be competing with guys that he's used to playing against, but now they have to come together to win, one common goal, which is to win the gold medal. So I don't think that they're gonna let any differences get in their way or anything like that from a competitive standpoint. From a competitive standpoint, they're gonna put all of that aside and they're gonna say, "Hey, look, we're out here, to win championship. We're out here to win a gold medal, rather, you know." So you got to take your hats off to Draymond Green. I like the fact that he's welcoming those guys in. Uh, the USA can't play tomorrow. I mean, they have to come out and they have to put the foot on their throats. Uh, you have several guys on that squad that are in the league. I mean, you have Rudy Gobert. You have Rudy Gobert, um, and you also have Frank. Who is it? Frank 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 Natalia. I always forget his name. How to pronounce his name? Frank something. I can't never pronounce his name. He played for New York. And then you got Evan Fournier. You got Nicholas Batum, one of my favorites, one of my favorite players to watch, and a few others. And these guys are going to really come out there and they're really going to be trying to compete hard. It's not like we can't go to sleep on them. And Rudy Gobert was the defensive player of the year, even though he did get exposed. But he's still out there, still competing, and he still is going to be a threat regardless of how much exposure that you did do. You know, so uh, you know, shout out to Draymond Green for welcoming these guys in. I think this is going to really help their roster. As he said, he has a lot of respect for these guys. I do too, because a lot of people show hell would have stayed home, got their rest, still been celebrating, and then waited for a few weeks and then got back into the gym. But they're not even taking a day of rest. And you're taking a risk by doing that. You're taking a risk by going out there and competing because you have to think about the injury concern that could potentially lie, which we don't want none of that to take place. But I wish them the best. I hope that they go out there and they compete hard against them. Salute to Draymond Green for welcoming those guys in once again. Uh, and y'all leave your comments. You tell me what you think. Do you think it was admirable for Draymond Green to welcome, the combination of Holiday, Middleton, and D Book onto the USA team and stating that he had a lot of respect for those guys. But until then, man, like this video, share it, comment. Be sure to hit them notifications too. And it's Polo Sports Talking ENT. I'll holler at y'all.